Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Knockout Analysis, a combat sports podcast presented by Cron Media. Boy, today do we have a special guest for you. We have Claremore high school legend Tracy Reeder in the
What's up,
house.
dude? What's up?
This is a treat. We've had him on the show once before, way back when, at the very start of his pro MMA career. After he flipped the black guy off in the camera and then knocked him out in front of his corner. That's still a core memory to this day. But that being said, Mr. Reeder has been fighting for a while now. He has fought February, in the
Yeah,
XFN 399 card. He did a kickboxing match against the guy by the name of Chris Barnes, who I think you said that was his last fight, correct? He's not fighting
yeah,
anymore.
yeah. It was his 55th pro fight,
Insane.
So
Yeah.
anyone who make the walk 55 times, it's like that's a nerve-wracking thing to do that many times.
Yeah.
You were talking about that fight. You're talking about my amateur fight with Jordan Brown,
Yeah.
where I knocked him out in front of my corner. That's like my go-to. Like if somebody's like, "Show me a video you fight," and I'm like, "What?" And it's like 3 or 4 years old now at this point, but I'm like, here, watch this.
It's either that one for me or the one where you beat the dude I think you beat him by submission at the very end of the fight, and then you started throwing up everywhere.
Yeah, bro, that one was
It was your
that one,
flu game. But
yeah,
yeah.
I was sick already, like going into that one.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started off that fight just sprinting, trying to get him out of there. And then when he was still there, it was kind of like the first time that had happened to me as a pro, where like they survived the sprint, and then I was kind of like, oh shit,
What do I do now?
yeah, get beat on for a little bit, I guess, until he was tired of doing it.
Yeah. But that being said, I bought that fight. Witt was actually there. I don't know if you knew this or not, but Witt was actually at that fight because his MMA coach for the gym that he goes to was fighting on that card.
What? I didn't know Witt trains. Where he train?
He trains I think it's a gym in Stillwater, I'm pretty sure. And for the life of me, I got to figure out I can't remember what his coach's name was, but
Oh, Michael Dugan, bro. He
that
trained
one,
at
yeah,
UCF.
that was him. That's
Yeah, okay. Hell yeah.
yeah,
Damn,
yeah,
Witt trains at UCS. I love those guys.
yeah. He was there at the fight, and I was watching it, but Witt didn't know. He sent me a text. He's like, Tracy just clobber fucked that dude. I'm like, yeah.
Damn, bro. I wish I would have seen it.
Well, he didn't know until 2 days before that he was going there. He just knew he was going to support his coach, and I was like, "Yo, didn't you say your coach is going on an XFN card?" And he was like, "Yeah." And I said, "That's where Tracy's fighting." I said, "He's fighting a kickboxing fight." He's like, "Holy fuck!" But
Hell
yeah, he said that there was some guy in the stands next to him that was talking shit on you because I guess he liked Chris Barnes or whatever. Like you said, he's like a hometown guy, and he's like, he's gonna knock him the fuck out, and then you
Well,
knocked him the fuck out.
I don't know what it is, bro. Sometimes motherfuckers love to hate me. I just got the like. There's no in between. Somebody either love me all the way or hate me all the way.
Yeah,
So
I mean, trust me, I know, I've heard it all, even in high school. But
it's crazy. It's crazy. I'm just doing my thing, bro. You got this dude in the stands talking shit on me.
yeah, I mean, but hey, at the end of the day, if you got people talking shit on you in an MMA fight, that means you're good enough that they don't want you to win. So,
Hey, bro. One time, I did, man, but then one of my homies came to me and was like, "Hey, yo, this dude is talking shit on you in the stands." And long story short, we went and smacked him and a couple of these fools up, and we got kicked out of the casino and everything. And nobody got in trouble or nothing like that. But
you had to pull the Conor McGregor on.
I
Go,
mean, I don't. You might want to be careful what you say in the stands sometimes. Don't know who's listening.
exactly. You are also in an entire arena of MMA fighters, so
Yeah,
someone,
everybody there trains.
yeah. So that's crazy
Yeah,
work from people in the fans.
there were some wrestlers, so they weren't like just like some untrained people.
Yeah. And that's another thing. That's what helped you out very early on in your career. Your wrestling. You were a multiple time state attendee. I don't know. I can't remember if you ever won, but you made state several times.
Yeah, I went 3 times. I got second once my senior year. Actually, one of my current teammates now, he's actually fighting on 400. He's an amateur, Nate Kime. He's from Collinsville. He beat me in the finals.
Damn. That was the year Shorty won, right? He won the.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. I get my get back on Nate every fucking day. Hey,
Yeah, he probably let himself out of it for a little bit, but you didn't. You
well, he was just wrestling. He wrestled. We also wrestled together at UCO.
yeah.
So he finished out and he didn't drop out to start fighting like your boy. So he was an All American too. I mean, really good wrestler, better wrestler than me for sure.
And that's another thing for anyone listening that doesn't know, which they probably will, because most of the people that listen to this are still from Oklahoma. But UCO, University of Central Oklahoma, fantastic wrestling school. It may not be a D1 school, but it is fantastic. Our old principal, Mr. Stidley over there, coaching up national champions. It's a hell of a place over there. It's no slouch school. It may not be D1, but it is no slouch school.
No, it's like the best D2, like historically and in recent memory. I think they won 2 of the last 3. So
Yeah, it's an incredible place to wrestle at. If you can't get into Oklahoma State and Oklahoma, go to UCO. It's
I mean, I would say even like I would rather probably go to UCO than OU. Maybe. I mean, I don't know.
yeah, I
Now
mean,
there's money. Now there's money, especially at the D1 level. So who the fuck knows? That really changed.
yeah,
Like,
and
and I,
they're wrestling's so weird, anyways, because the eligibility's so weird. You just had that Gable Stevenson and Wyatt Hendrickson thing, where those guys are. One of them's a second lieutenant in the Air Force, and the other one's already wrestled in the Olympics and won gold. It's like, how the hell are y'all still fighting in college?
like Cable has $1 million, and Wyatt Henderson is probably pretty wealthy too. Like they're
The,
both they're not struggling. You know what I mean? They're not eating fucking ramen noodles and shit. Like they're not living that what you think of college life.
yeah, it's crazy. The
Like
NIL has
in
changed
college,
everything.
me and my roommate, we would manipulate the self checkout at the Walmart. You know what I'm saying? So like they're not living like that, just
Yeah.
totally different. And it really wasn't that many years ago.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. I mean, we graduated in 2017, so that's crazy stuff. But let's talk about your last few fights. Obviously, you had to take some time off to get yourself correct and per doctor's orders, which is always the most important thing is being healthy. And then you suffered a couple decision losses that you probably shouldn't have lost, in my opinion, watching back on them. The one, like we were talking about before, where you fought the Turkish dude, he got you with a knee at the wrong time after you were running him up and down the cage. So it had to have been nice to get a fight like no disrespect to Mr. Barnes, but had to be nice to get a fight like that where many people would consider that a layup.
Yeah, I mean, it had just been uh, some tough luck with these decisions, and then the knockout loss, especially like you said, it was like it was the only thing he landed the whole fight, so it sucks whenever that's how it plays out. And then I was just running my head into the wall, training after losing. Like I wasn't even really uh, like mentally like facing these losses of like what went wrong. I just wanted to go take another fight and be back on the winning side. And
Mm-hmm.
then I was finally my body just started breaking down. I got the rhabdomyolysis. It's like some muscle breakdown, shit in your kidneys. And there was actually a fighter from Australia who just died,
Mm.
and I'm in the hospital like like, I felt totally fine, except for, I mean, I was pretty sore, like, my muscles were sore and shit, but, like, I was, like, walking the halls. They had me there for 4 days, bro. It was crazy. It was crazy. But then, coming back from that, you're like, when you start going to a fight camp, you're like, kind of like, do I want to push hard? Like, you're trying to find the balance of listening to your body. Then you got to add a weight cut on top of that, which is hard on your organs sometimes. But I had never kickboxed before, ever. And like you said, most of my fights, I've in the past, I've looked to take it to the ground. Chris Barnes had a shitload of kickboxing fights, and he was looking for his retirement fight. I'm pretty sure that he actually asked for it. So, I mean, respect to him, bro. He is not scared of fighting any motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, he's lost, at least in MMA, he's lost 28 times. Who knows kickboxing? But, like, at some point, you just have to throw caution and care to the wind if you lose that many fights. It's just like, hey, at some point, he was probably collecting paychecks on some of these fights, and he's like, fuck it, I get it here if I lose or if I win.
Yeah, like, I mean, you're fighting a guy with nothing to lose. Like, it's like fighting a suicide bomber. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Like he's about to bring, and that's it with any fight every time. It's always like I promise you, bro, the fights that you're supposed to win are the ones that every fighter gets the most nervous for, because it's like, oh, you can't fuck up on this one. And I had some shit going on in the back, that was self-inflicted, not by me, but just by my team, where I didn't even get to warm up because my hands didn't get wrapped in time, and I think a fight before me dropped through, and there's just all these things. So it was like, I got to go out there cold for this fight that I know I'm supposed to win. And I was actually like, damn, like, a lot's going wrong right now, and we're on stage. But it was straight,
Yeah, I mean, it looked like some Muay Thai clinch going on there when you caught him with that flying knee, and it was not fun for Mr. Barnes. He dropped to the canvas pretty hard. I was just glad he got up because that was a brutal knee.
Yeah, bro, he had a pretty good little mouse on his eye and shit.
Yeah.
But hey, I've been moused up too, so that's the game we're playing.
I remember, I think it was Rodney Allison that you fought. I think it may have been in an XFN fight, or it could have been a different promotion, but I remember you had that dude sprawled on the ground for all 4 minutes of the first round, just boom, boom, boom. He had a fucking big old knot on his head.
I have this from the crowd. Somebody took it from the crowd, and he's like getting up, and you see that fucking lump. Like, you can see it through the cage. Like, it's huge. Like, the way the light's bouncing off of it and shit. I remember when he got up and I saw him, I was like, damn. Like, in the cage, I was like, damn. Dude, I saw him like a year ago. I ran into him. He's a super cool guy. Like, super nice. And he still has like a little, it's not as big, but he's got a little bit of a lump on there still, bro.
You don't permanently change that man's face.
It's crazy, bro. That shit's crazy. I mean, my face has definitely been changed, a little bit. Like, I got hella scar tissue, and I probably shouldn't even be saying all that, but whatever. And, like, one of my eyes looks kind of lazy if you really look at them, like, just because from the scarring and shit.
Yeah. But yeah, you definitely bounced back with the win against Mr. Chris Barnes in that fight. I think he calls himself Pretty Boy for the nicknames.
Hey, like, even though on paper it was a 3-fight skid, I didn't feel like that. I feel like I lost to Pena Alamov. I feel like I didn't lose to Nico or Hector, and I don't feel like Pena was better than me either.
No,
and I feel like I fought Nico and Hector like shit. I mean, here's the thing about when I fought Nico, nobody even noticed this. I'm a southpaw that fought him right-handed the whole time. I fought a whole fight in my off stance. Pretty much just because I felt like it on that day, like, and, I feel like even though, like, on paper, maybe the momentum looks bad, but I'm riding a high right now with or without the kickboxing, and this Friday is going to show it, bro. I'm so ready to go. Like,
I'm ready to watch it. I'm definitely getting this one again, but the thing that I wanted to mention is You may have lost a few fights, but you've also lost to good competition. You lost to a guy early on in your career that just fought on a UFC Fight Night card in Mexico City, who's
Dude,
2-0 in the UFC.
in his Contender Series fight, he fought like this 10-0 Dagestani, and he knocked him out, and his clip was like Sports Center top 10 the way he knocked him out. You
Yeah.
know?
And you went 3 rounds with him.
Yeah, I mean, look, he beat the shit out of me, but that's okay, man. I needed that, It it made me better. It made me realize too, like, damn, bro, that's really like you never really know what's your heart until you get it checked like that.
Yeah, for sure. Because that's when it comes down to if you get beat like that after you. I think he was your first loss, no?
No, I lost to Josiah. But like that fight, just like and having the experience of being that beat up in a fight, and like it just you're gonna be that much more ready for it next time.
Yeah, for sure.
It's all about experience.
Oh yeah, you can never have too much experience. Hey, me and Whit just did our thing yesterday for this upcoming 314 UFC card, and there's like multiple fighters on here that got 50 plus fights in their pro careers, and it's like they're still out here producing in the UFC. So it's all about experience, and they keep getting put up against these young guys and beating them just simply off of experience. These people that come up in the first time, they think whatever they do in a regional series, they're gonna do in the UFC. When in turn, there's really levels to it. Like there's UFC fighters are there for a reason. Not to say that anyone in a regional promotion can't be there, because obviously you've seen a UFC fighter in your career. So it's all levels, and your level's above pretty much everyone that you've lost to, except for maybe him. I don't know how you feel about that, but I mean, he's in the UFC. I think you're better than most 99% of the people that you fight, but if anyone thinks that they're better than 100% of the people they fight, most of the time they're just not realistic. They're confident, but not realistic.
Yeah, I think I'm definitely better than everybody I've lost to. Marquell would definitely be the best one, and would be the hardest one to deal with. But just at that time, I just hadn't had the experience of fighting and actually, like he was an actually skilled striker. Like everybody, like like his shit was actually good, and he had good wrestling. He came from a good camp, but like that whole camp, I was prepared to fight a jiu-jitsu guy. Like I was prepared to be in somebody's guard and stand over him and drop some bombs, and not really prepared for much of a stand-up fight. And I mean, obviously there's things I would do different. Maybe one day down the road, that's not necessarily a fight that I couldn't get back.
Oh yeah, no. First fight in the UFC, you win it. I want Markel Medeiros. I need my get back.
He's actually a pretty cool guy, So he's one of the few people I've fought that I'm actually like, okay, you're pretty cool. Like he was cool leading up and after and shit.
Yeah, not like that one guy, the Jacob dude or whatever that you knocked out in front of your corner. That guy was a dick.
Oh no, Jordan. yeah. What was funny is one of my homies fought him later on as a pro. Years later, we whooped his ass again.
Yeah, that guy was a tool. He was an absolute tool.
Dude, he got the most piss poorest reputation too. But honestly, I think he's kind of like as he gets older, like we all do, we kind of like level out and shit. He seems cool, I ain't got no beef with nobody. If you want to start acting crazy, then I guess, like,
You have to kick him in the head again and knock him down. That shit was, it was like, how long did it take you to finish that fight? It was fairly quick, no?
Well, fuck, it was like a minute and 4 seconds, but he was choked out at like the 50-second mark,
But he pulled a Herb Dean. He did not call the fight.
I dropped him and I choked him. I actually felt that he was out, but you're out there in like a different brain, So I wasn't stopping until they were gonna say, and then I knew they were about to say, and I was like, I didn't even hit this guy enough, so. And then I kind of crashed out after, but that was young man shit, I was only.
he was talking all kinds of crazy shit before the fight, so he got his ass kicked, and sometimes you just got to crash out on a young brother.
You
That's the
know,
way it goes.
and he really talked like a little bit of shit, but in my head I blew it up so much. Like I inflated it. You know, not that he wasn't talking shit, he was, and you know, but I definitely I made it like this whole shit in my head.
Looking back on it now, the best way you can compare it, I think, is Paddy Pimblett fighting King Green. Similar situation. King Green trying to bully fight this guy and like just bully him and talk shit the whole time. Paddy Pimblett gets in there, knocks his ass to the ground, chokes him out. I
You know,
love.
whenever I knew he wasn't really like that, like everybody that fights is an MMA fighter. Like they get in the cage and they fight, but like I just knew he was like in a robotic state of mind whenever he did that bow and arrow shit, and I flipped him off. Like I just basically was like, "Fuck your shit," you know. And then he like put his hands up, like, "Are we gonna touch gloves?" Like I was like, "Are you fucking crazy? No, we're not gonna."
No, we're not touching gloves. Touch
Like,
his
dude,
foot.
it's crazy, bro. Like no, there's clearly animosity here. I'm not fucking touching gloves, dude.
Dude, like this isn't this that wasn't just theatrics, and if it was for you, it wasn't for me.
Yeah, that's when I knew he was just boned, because I was just like, you're not even like you're not where I'm at, because I'm
Yeah,
pissed off.
yeah, I'm done
And,
with it. I'm ready to
you're
knock you out.
because you know that we don't like each other, but you're in your it's just normal, like touch gloves, like it's normal. So he's in a normal he's in a pattern brain, and I'm like, I'm going to fucking you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You're sitting over there, walking up and down the fence, like, let me at him, let me at him. He's over there. You want to touch gloves? No,
Dude,
I'm
yes.
good.
For weeks I'd been just stewing, bro. Like yeah. Dudes
All
are
right.
crazy, bro. But that like sometimes guys, that's how you know, like, oh, you're not like I don't know. You ain't I don't even know what the word I'm looking for, but you're not really like that, you know.
Yeah,
You're a fighter, but you ain't really like that.
yeah, you're not that guy, pal.
Whatever that means.
So on this fight night card coming up, and even the one prior, how many of these guys are, or if any of them, are you teammates with?
Um the last one, my homie Tater fought. I'm trying to think who else. I think I can't remember who else we had on the card on the last one, but on this one we got my homie Nate Kime I was telling you about that
Mm-hmm.
I wrestled with. We got myself. Normally Tater would be on it, but he's not on it. My homie TJ Brown's fighting on the card.
Former
I don't
UFC fighter, by the way.
I, I don't train with him regularly, but I've been to Arkansas several times and trained with him, and super cool dude. I think he's gonna do great. Um, yeah. As far as anyone else, I think that's it. That's all we got fighting on the card.
Yeah. Um. All right. Let's see. But yeah, TJ Brown, as you mentioned, he has been on UFC roster before. Um.
Dude, bangers too. Like most of his fights, he got fight of the night. Like if you really look into it, and he fought tough guys. Like watch any TJ Brown fight, you're gonna be like sick.
Yeah. This fight, I believe there's a couple guys that were on the last card fighting. I'm pretty sure isn't Cat Daddy White on this fight card again
Oh
defending?
yeah, bro! I just trained with him the other day. He just pulled up to the gym because he's 6'2", left-handed black guy,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm fighting a 6'2", left-handed black guy. So for me, it was just like, of course I had to call Devin White. We've been
He
together a little bit. Yeah, I guess. I mean, I would call him a training partner. We've trained just like sporadically here and there over the years, a bunch of times.
it's cool when you can have like a card full of fighters and you can pretty much work with any of them. It's more of like that regional thing because that doesn't always happen in the UFC because some people are coming from so many different places. Like you're not fighting, you're not training with most Dagestanians, because when they're not fighting and in a camp, they're off in fucking Russia with Khabib doing whatever they're doing. So
Yeah.
fighting grizzly bears and shit. But those guys are insane. I would, you could just tell me, you could have a 0-31 record. You could line up against me in an MMA match and tell me you're from Dagestan, and I'm still gonna be terrified of you.
Yeah, bro. They definitely on something different. It seems like they got it like so ingrained in their culture.
Yeah.
Like these motherfuckers. They like. I swear, bro. Some of them don't know how to read and write, bro. But they know how to fight. Like I really think it's like that for some of them. Not all of them, bro. Some of them are also well educated, but I think some of them it is like that. And that's crazy dedication, bro.
I'm only laughing because it's possibly true, man.
No, it's definitely true. It's definitely true. They know how to read and write. Some of them are on steroids at a very young age. Like if you really look into it, bro, sometimes like it's glitz and glam whenever Khabib's got fucking Justin Gaethje in a fucking triangle. But if you really look into it, bro, some of their shit is kind of wacky, But it works, bro, because like you
Yeah.
said, even on the regional level, bro, like when people get a Dagestani pushed across their desk, they're like, what the fuck? Why would I do this? Especially for regional money. Like, why would I do this for regional money? Like, whenever in a few fights, I'm going to be fighting him for more money.
Yeah. Well, let's focus on this next fight. What do you know so far? And how long have you known that your opponent is who it was? Because I know when we first talked about the sponsorship thing, you just knew you had a fight. You weren't exactly sure who it was with yet. So
Yeah, I don't even know, man, honestly. Like, I knew I was fighting, I was a little like, you're always kind of, when you don't have a name, you're always kind of like, I don't know if I'm really fighting. But
yeah,
I was getting ready like I was fighting. I can't remember when they gave us this name. Maybe like three weeks ago, maybe 4 weeks ago. I don't know. I'm such a bad judge of time, but I don't even know. Like the other day, or not the other day, but one time in pro training, I asked everybody what the date was, and nobody fucking knew.
they're just in there
Because
training, man.
what we got to keep track of the date for? Just what practice is today? Like that's it. So I don't know how long it's been, but I know that he's a tall, lanky southpaw. With I think all of his wins or most of his wins are by submission, so he ain't no slouch on the ground. Um, but really for me, it's just about performance and going out there and not going out there to just like win the game of a fight, but going out there to put some damage on this guy and you know to just not overcomplicate it. Just go out there and perform, keep it simple, stick to my shit, bust him up. Try not to get busted up too much.
Yeah. So you think on this one, this guy, you said he's probably got a jiu-jitsu background, so I don't know. At that point, is the ground game something you even want to play with, or do you think you're? Well, I mean, your wrestling is better. You went to UCO, so
Yeah, bro. I mean, I think he's a purple belt in jiu-jitsu. I'm a brown belt in jiu-jitsu under Johnny Carson, the Scrap Pack, and I'm not. But even that right there doesn't matter. It's just really just me affirming how confident I am in my team and my skills, and whether it's standing on the ground, top, bottom. I'm gonna be comfortable wherever because I'm a truly well-rounded mixed martial artist. So
yeah. I mean, I remember you telling us in the first interview that you did with us when it was me and Yoder that you, in your first few amateur fights, in your first few pro fights, you were literally using people as striking practice, and then once you got tired of striking practice, you took them to the ground and won the fight. I remember that vividly when you told me that, because you told us about a fight that you lost, and that one when you were an amateur, and you said that's when I realized I needed a striking coach, and
right.
then yeah, but yeah, I mean, when your wrestling is levels above people like yours is, then that's something that you're able to do. Like, if I went and started my MMA career now, which I plan to start by next year, I don't think that I would be able to do that. I have boxing background now. I've been in a boxing gym for over a year now. I can strike. I can punch hard. I've knocked many people down in sparring sessions, this, that, and the third. But I haven't wrestled since 8th grade. So
Right.
all I
Yeah.
remember how to do is a single leg takedown. That's it.
I mean, like, imagine, like, you went into a fight with a baseball bat, but you didn't use it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of what wrestling can be sometimes for me. Like, I just know they didn't, and I've been doing it since I was 4, and I had a different, more serious upbringing than most of the people that wrestled. So I picked up a little extra grit along the way. That's the secret sauce, but truthfully, I want to be comfortable wherever. It doesn't matter. Um, I'm good, bro. I have the skills. I have the skills.
I remember in high school the different level of determination that you had as a wrestler. Because I would sit with you at the lunch tables and whatnot. And when it was wrestling season, you would see this man pull out like 3 pieces of ham with mayo wrapped in it. And that was his lunch for the day. And he wouldn't eat anything else. And I'd be like, damn, aren't you hungry? He said, oh, starving. But it's fight. It's wrestling meet. We got a match this week. I can't gain weight. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, that was what you're talking about is my junior year. I was actually trying keto. Of
Mm-hmm.
course, this wasn't my idea. Like, I was under instruction, It ended up being really fucking retarded. Like, I don't recommend keto for any athlete that's actually performing at a high level or like keto works if like you like lift weights 3 times a week, in my opinion. But yeah, I was trying to do keto then, and it actually wasn't mayonnaise, bro, because you had to have a lot of fat. So what it would be in those ham roll-ups would either be butter or sour cream,
Yeah.
because you need the fat in the keto. And yeah, that shit was crazy, bro. That shit was crazy. I tried to do that shit, but like when you're doing that shit, it fucks with your like what your body runs on isn't sugar anymore. It's the ketones or whatever the fuck. I really barely know.
Yeah.
But I know that I was getting my blood tested to make sure that I wasn't cheating on this diet.
Yeah.
So it was like, you know what I mean? I didn't have a choice. I had to stick with it. But every now and then, like, especially like if we were running out of testing strips and we were just kind of like slow playing, like re-upping on that, I would go to Brahms and I would get the fattest fucking milkshake. I would break sometimes, dude. And it would fuck me up for a day and a half.
Yeah, I mean that would have been tough to sustain, especially because you didn't lose much, and if any, in high school when it came to wrestling. So being able to be that good and still operate on that little food is just a testament to wrestling skill.
Honestly, I would have been better had there was definitely seasons and times in my wrestling career where it was more about the scale than it was about getting good at wrestling. And like just the way I approach like growing skills now compared to back then, it's just so night and day. I was for real a dipshit then. And in 5 years from now I'll probably be like I was a dipshit when I was 25. But
Yeah.
hopefully I grow that much and think that. But I did so much like ridiculous shit. Cutting too much weight was a big one, especially my junior season. Like I was cutting from like 160 at my heaviest, like kind of fluffy 160 to like 126 and 132 that season. I mean,
Yeah, I remember the crazy cuts, man.
like it's ridiculous, and that's every week. You're making weight every week.
You know what I remember the most? Because I played basketball and you wrestled. Whenever we would go practice in the MOBRA, which is where you guys were at most of the time in wrestling in the first couple years of high school, I'd walk in that MOBRA, we'd go do basketball practice. Boy, if it wasn't hot as a bitch in that gym, bro. I was like, damn. I haven't seen that again since I started doing boxing at this boxing gym. Coach keeps it cranked up in there all the time. Get that water weight out of you. That's what he says all the time. It's crazy.
Yeah, that shit bring out something different, bro.
Yeah.
That
And
heat.
I've recently taken up just to try to cut some of this weight off me a little bit faster, I've taken up a sauna suit, and I'll do my bag work in a sauna suit. Feels like a 30-degree difference when that sauna suit comes off.
Hang on, bro. Hang on 1 second. You know your boy about to be in it soon.
Yes, sir.
That shit sucks.
Yeah.
I hate the smell of it, the rubber, bro. Because this is another thing I did that was just retarded. Whenever I was a sophomore, I was cutting weight. I thought I was cutting weight. Like, it really wasn't that much weight. I was just an idiot and didn't know how to do it. But I would practice in a sauna suit every day. This may have been my junior year. I think it was my sophomore year, though. I think it was before, because it was before Parker lost his arm. So he was still in there.
Yeah.
We were battling with two-arm Parker. And we both wore plastics every day. And it was just so stupid because you're dead every practice. You're not getting the most out of the practice because this isn't like you're going for a jog or you're hitting the bat. Like, you're doing your, like, sparring basically in plastics, which is just every day, and you're 15. You think that's smart? Like, so now when I pull that suit out the box, just the rubber, the smell,
PTSD.
I throw it away after every weight. I have to. It's $12.97 every time, but fuck it. It's therapeutic for me to just throw it away.
Yeah.
I don't want that around me ever.
Yeah. I got the one. Mine came off of Amazon. I think mine was like $30, but it's like the full the jacket, the suit. The first time I put it on at the boxing gym, my coach thought I was leaving because I was putting a jacket on. He's like, "Oh, what? You don't feel good?" I'm like, "No, but I'm not gonna in about an hour."
You can. Does it wash, like machine wash and shit?
Yeah, it does.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I always get the little cheap rubber one. You know, I probably should get a better one like that, but I don't know what the fuck. I'm gonna look at it.
Yeah, just hang it up and look at it. Be like, yeah, I used that once. But I mean, it's different for us because I'm a heavyweight and I'm always going to be a heavyweight. So I mean, technically for boxing, I'd have to cut like 25 pounds and then I could start fighting. But I wouldn't be fighting at a healthy weight. Like Tyson Fury fighting at 290, I have no fucking clue how he does that. But
being 6'7" helps.
Yeah, that definitely does.
But still, yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. But like UFC, I'm pretty sure if I ever tried that, I think heavyweight limit in UFC is like 270 or 265 or something like that. So I'd have to cut like 40 pounds to get to that, which that's what I'm starting to do. And like I said, my goal for me is by the end of the year, I want to have taken at least 1 or 2 boxing amateur fights.
Hell yeah.
Then at the end of the year, when I'm ready to fight, I'll find a gym, probably jiu-jitsu, and then work with people in wrestling and try to start MMA. Because I could be, I mean, fuck, Derek Lewis has like 20-something knockouts in the UFC by just being a boxer. So, I mean, you could do it, but I'd like to be well-rounded, so.
Yeah, bro. You can never overinvest on building skills.
Yeah. But yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah. That shit gets me pumped, bro.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to figure out how to watch this.
Yeah, I gotta get to that point where I can take a fight first, but I'm ready for it.
Let's bring you up through street beefs.
Yo, funny story. I actually have a tire tech at my job because I'm a manager at an auto shop. One of my tire techs missed work on Saturday because he went and did street beefs. He did an MMA fight.
No way. That's fucking sick, dude. You're gonna have to send me the link to this.
Yeah, whenever we're waiting for them to post it because he has the thing. I think they told him he had like the 6th fastest knockout in Street Beef's history. It was like 13 seconds. But he was like, I saw this guy, I hit him with one jab and he like fell backwards, and then I hit him with one hook and he fell down. He said I was ground and pounding him, and I looked up at the ref, and he said, I didn't stop it, so he kept hitting him. I was like, damn. I was like, they're trying to give that man brain damage.
Yeah, bro, they're diabolical.
I didn't stop it. Alrighty then, I'm just going to keep killing him then. So what is obviously we asked this the first time, I'm going to be I'm going to be doubtful that your answer has changed, but I'm going to ask anyways. What is your end goal for MMA fighting? Is it the
Come on, bro.
UFC?
We're trying to take this to the top. As
Yep.
far as you can take it, that's how we're trying to take it. You know, we're trying to go to the UFC. We're trying to accomplish these small goals to the ultimate. You know, the small goal is to win the fight Friday, then to win the next fight, win the next fight, and build in and get into the UFC. Once I'm in the door, it's over with. You know, then we start climbing that ladder all the way to the top and become UFC champion. I mean, there is no if you have any other fighter and you talk to them and that's not their list, like that's not their timeline, their path, whatever, however long it takes, like that's not their short-sighted goals, you know, they're crazy. What are you doing this for?
Yeah. I got to see if I can get Chris Barnes on here. Figure out see what he was doing this for.
Yeah. Sometimes they doing it for 2,500.
If you can get it, you can get it, man. But yeah, no, that's crazy because he was getting knocked the hell out 13 times for in MMA only. Who knows about kickboxing? But yeah, I figured your goal wasn't going to change at some point. We do hope to see you in the UFC. We've already seen that you can go toe to toe with a UFC level fighter, so that will be fun to see whenever you get there. I'm in a hurry for you to get there, but I'm in no hurry because them sponsorships finna get more expensive whenever you're in the UFC.
No, come on, bro. We locked the homies in. We locked the hometown homies in.
Yes, sir. But yeah, I'm excited to have sponsored him for this fight coming up. Obviously, we have done it once before, but it was immature, or like it was matureness on both of our parts. You forgot about it, I forgot about it, and then it's like 2 days before the fight, and we're like, yeah, we'll just say it never happened.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. Sometimes these things happen, bro.
Yeah, well, I mean, this was before you had your injury, so you were balls to the wall training all the time, so that's all you were doing. Eat, sleep, and breathe MMA. It's still what you're doing, but now you know how to do it without killing yourself.
Yeah, now it's just better, bro. Everything that happens, you look at it with the growth mindset, grow from it. Now we're even better.
Yes, sir. But we'll see. Win or lose, this is the homie, so we're gonna stay sponsoring him as much as we can. But that being said, be sure to check out where is this one? Is it on Triller again? Triller?
Yeah, Triller, Fight TV, whatever it is. Yeah. Start your. I think you can start some free trial or some shit and get it for free.
Yeah, next time check that fight out. But it's not just him that you need to watch. There's a whole bunch of good fights that happen on that shit. The whole thing is you got Frank Mir announcing the whole shit.
And Frank Shamrock, bro. Here's the thing. This is XFN 400, bro. Like, people, like, there's no other fight promotion that's done that many shows. I mean, it's crazy. Like, it's not gonna, it's just a local promotion, a regional promotion, so nobody's gonna really give a fuck that much. But it is kind of cool, especially if you're from this area.
Yeah, and especially since the matter of they seem to like keeping the same people on the cards because you just fought and they're like, hey, you want to fight again? So like it's one of those. Yeah, they're using this as a stepping stool for their fighters to the next thing, and then you've got people that just want to fight, and this is a chance for them to do it. But it's
a platform, bro, for sure.
You got every single fight has gonna have the amateurs looking to be pros and then the pros. So it is what it is. It's still fun to watch. I watched that whole card last time. I think I fell asleep during Tater's fight, and I saw Tater get knocked down the first time. I think he got knocked down again, and then he knocked him out. But that shit was crazy.
That dude he fought was nasty, bro. You're gonna be on the card again. Like, that dude could legitimately knock anybody out, just on sheer power alone.
Yeah.
And he wasn't bad. He wasn't like not to knock his skills or nothing, bro. It's just like the glaring thing obviously he had going for him was his power.
Oh yeah. But the other thing is, you got Tracy on this card. fighting. I'm not sure where in the card. I don't know if they've lined it up yet. Usually it's a couple days before that they line it up.
Fuck no, it's not. It's usually the fucking morning of. It seemed like.
But yeah, I mean, the last one that I watched, I saw everything. I think he was when I was watching. I watched from the start. I think he was supposed to be like the fifth fight originally, and he was like the third one. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that changed. That changed right then. You know what I'm saying? That's when they came and got me. I was like, hold up.
I was like, damn, I ain't even ready yet.
I mean, bro, you know, as a professional, we should be ready for that shit. You know,
yeah. Well, like you said, you had your own stuff going on back there, no fault of your own, but yeah, no, be sure to check out Tracy's fight this weekend on Friday, I believe, at whatever time, probably 7 or 8. It's what time these things usually start. But XFN 400, like he said, Frank Shamrock, all that stuff. It's a fun thing to watch. And then even if you have to pay for the pay-per-view card, I think the one last time was like $15. It's not that expensive. Buy it, support the promotion, support the fighters. Make it to where if you buy them pay-per-views, that's how they're going to start paying the fighters. Make sure everyone's getting supported. And then, of course, we got the sponsorship on our boy. Feel free, before you leave here, you can shout out any of your other sponsors. I ain't worried about all that.
Oh, God. This is what's fucked up is because, you know, you're already like, I'm already kind of spacey anyways sometimes, and you don't want to name all your sponsors and forget that I forget one, you ruin the relationship with the one you forgot, you know.
Yeah.
But shout out you for sponsoring me. Revitalization by Raquel, Rock Construction, Ashlock Construction, Wilburn Realty actually just sold the house I'm living in and helped me buy the house we're about to, or help us buy the house that we're about to be moving into. So shout out to them. And Pro Plumbing. Fuck. I feel like I'm forgetting one, bro. But if I am, I'm sorry. I love all my sponsors. I couldn't be more grateful and thankful. Shout out my team, Carson Fight and Fitness, the Scrap Pack, Ryan Hoover, Caleb Spencer, Alex Hurd, Gage Nolan, all the boys, Nate Kahn, Tater, Johnny Carson, that's our coach, everybody else, everybody at the Scrap Pack. Shout out everybody.
It actually looks like you got them all. You got Ampro, Wilborn, Ashlock, us, Rock Construction, and Revitalize Aesthetics. So you got them all.
Let's go.
That's right. He remembers his sponsors.
Come on, bro.
Everyone else sponsor him. That being said,
I don't remember anymore. Shit.
He's going to have a list if we get any more.
Yeah, I'm going to have to just start getting this shit tattooed on my hand or something.
Hey, it is what it is, man. But, Tracy, we thank you for your time in this interview. We'll hope to catch up with you sometime after you whoop this dude's ass on Friday. And then, that being said, Mr. Reeder, do you have any parting words, any advice that you would give to anyone that's looking to become a professional MMA fighter?
Get into a real gym. Have an open mind. Don't neglect any part of the game, grappling, striking, wrestling. You know, and be ready. Be ready for the ups and the downs.
Damn right. That being said, we won't take up any more of your time, Mr. Reeder. I know you have a fight camp that you have to finish up so you can whoop somebody's ass. But before we go, we just got to say one thing. Fuck Pryor and go Zebras.
Yeah, for real. See love, baby.
Yes, sir. We appreciate you guys taking the time to watch. I'll have this probably up tonight, so be sure to check that out along with UFC predictions for 314 with me and Whit. Tracy, we appreciate your time.
Of course, brother. Thank you.
No problem.
Will I leave this or?
Yeah, I'm going to stop the recording.